This video gives an overview of Paddlesport Leadership, with useful mnemonics and some of the strategies that can be applied by leaders in a range of environments. Preparation is the key to good leadership. Part of the preparation is gaining the experience to know how you need to prepare. Every paddling trip will be different. Answering the who, why, when, where, what, and how questions is key to the logistical planning. Access is an important part of the where questions. Where will you launch onto the water? Where will you exit the water? What alternative access points do you have along the route? Taking maps or charts will help to find these points and aid general navigation during the journey. The group may want to leisurely paddle on gentle water, looking at wildlife and enjoying a picnic. Or they may want to be safely led down water that is at the top of their comfort zone. A change in river levels can easily turn the leisurely river into the challenging one, and it's the leader's role to pick the best river for the group. Wind is the key factor on most open water paddling and may well dictate where you start and finish your journey. Even on inland water, waves can become a significant factor. On the sea, it's a balance of wind and tide, with an understanding of both being essential for a safe trip. Shuttles are the logistics of how to get back to your start point, with leaving a car at each end of the journey being the normal solution. Many journeys will not need a shuttle though, with a sea paddle around an island, or paddling up a canal to then paddle down a river bringing you back to your start point. Shuttles don't have to be done by car. An inflatable craft can even be taken to the water, public transport. Carrying a means of contacting help is essential for any journey. This should be carried on you rather than in a bag or attached to a craft. There should also be someone who knows where you have gone and what time you should be back. Some form of briefing is essential, whether it's a group of friends paddling together or a leader with some paying clients. My ABCDE is a simple mnemonic to remind you of the topics to cover. Me. Tell the group a little about yourself and what your role is on the trip. Are you just there for safety, or will you be educating, guiding, coaching or instructing during the journey? You. Ask the group some questions to start profiling their ability and what they want from the day. This information may well change the plan that you originally had for the journey. Activity. Discuss the activity with the group and check they are happy with the plan. Inform them of relevant logistics. For example, what time do we expect to get off the water? Basic equipment. A visual check of what the group are wearing and what equipment they have with them is usually enough. But it may be necessary to ask them if they have any essentials with them, for example, their lunch or a change of clothes. And you may need to educate the group about correct use of some equipment. Communication. Different leaders may use different verbal commands or visual signals to communicate on the water, and this is fine, as long as they are simple to understand and the group have been told what they mean. Doctor's note. Do the group have any medical conditions that you need to know about, and have they brought their medication with them? Emergency procedures. This is the last topic before getting on the water because it's the most important, and people often remember the last thing you tell them. Also, do people have safety equipment with them, and do they know how to use it? While leading on the water, we can use another mnemonic. Claps. Communication. Ideally, communication should take place in a safe environment where the group can focus on what is being said. This information should be limited to a few key points, and to direct their focus, it should be a positive command. For example, keep left, rather than a negative command, avoid that rock. Line of sight. The leader should be able to see hazards so that they can make a decision. Ideally, they should be able to see all of the group, but going around a bend or paddling over a drop, the leader may lose sight. The solution for this is to have line of sight through a well-positioned member of the group who can see the others and pass communications on. Avoidance. Avoiding dangers should start in the planning phase. While on the river, if in doubt, take the safer route or get off the river and walk around, or even call it a day and walk away. Position of maximum usefulness. If there was a hazard in a river, the leader may wait upstream and give the group directions as they pass. They may stop near the bank and direct the group toward them, or stop by the hazard and direct the group away from it, or even paddle past and wait downstream ready to rescue if needed. There are many strategies that can be employed to manage a group on water, and the following sections of video will give a range of examples. With a group of peers paddling together, there may not be a defined leader, and whoever is near the front takes on the role. To avoid confusion, this needs to be agreed in the pre-paddle chat. A competent member of the group as a backmarker can be very useful for group management. These open water strategies may be used during journeys on lakes, reservoirs, wide, slow rivers, estuaries, or the sea. Just paddling as a group with no fixed structure can allow a leader to assess the ability of the group members and makes for a friendly social paddle. The leader can always swap to alternative strategies if required. Single file is great for evening or night paddling. From the back of the group, a leader can see the lights on the back of their buoyancy aids, can spot if they start to veer off course, and can match their direction against a compass bearing. Pairs is a nice, simple buddy safety system. The leader can choose to pair up appropriate members of the group. Birds fly in a V, as it gives those further down the line an easier journey, and it can also work for us when paddling. Using the theory behind the flying V, this should give the paddler at the back an easier trip, useful when one of the group is struggling. On a windy day, paddlers can gain shelter from using each other in the same way that bike riders would do in a race. Getting the group to create various formations can help to improve a group's paddling ability and helps to pass the time on a long journey. Leaders should have knowledge of safety and rescue, with rafting up and towing being strategies to get the group to safety, or just making life easier for those paddlers who are tired. Some simple whitewater safety tips. The group should always wait for a signal before leaving a safe area of water. If you expect someone to make the last possible eddy before a feature, there's a high chance they won't. The group should have the attitude that safety is everyone's responsibility. They should carry safety equipment, help with rescues, and be an active swimmer, helping themselves by trying to get to safety. Time is often a key factor in the planning of a journey. Underestimating the speed of the river or the ability of the group will require alternative exit points. Efficient route scouting can save time compared to the faff that can happen with everyone out of their boats on the bank. Scouting from the boat is a skill that a leader should practice. The next section is a selection of strategies for managing groups on rivers. These apply to canoeists and SUPs just as much as to kayakers. Scouting ahead is important. What's coming next should not be a surprise. The nature of the river will dictate the type of scouting needed. Cruising down the river with a group who are competent in that environment is a great way to lead. The least competent or confident should follow closely behind the leader to try and match their line through the rapids. Each subsequent paddler is likely to be slightly off course compared to the previous paddlers. These Chinese whispers can result in the last paddler being very off course. Ideally, paddlers should be reading the river as much as possible and not just relying on the leader all of the time. With a buddy, a less confident paddler always has someone to follow, and knowing that someone is always nearby to rescue if needed can increase their confidence. It can take time, but on technical water, the safest strategy is one at a time. The rest of the group can help with appropriate safety cover. By breaking the river down to small sections between eddies, the group are always double checking for hazards ahead and picking their line down the river. If there is a need for everyone to stop, it's relatively easy for everyone to just wait in their eddy. Leapfrog is simply the buddy version of eddy hopping, where paddlers are working in a small team looking after each other. A leader can use the group to help manage the safety on the river, marshalling them into positions for communication or for rescue cover. Sections of river often have a mix of grades, and there's nothing wrong with starting a trip knowing that some or all of the group will walk around some of the more significant features of that section. Accidents rarely happen due to equipment failure. Usually it's some form of error of judgment through lack of knowledge or unconscious decision making. McCannon studied avalanche accidents and identified 6 heuristic traps that groups and leaders fall into. Being aware of them can help prevent them. Acceptance. Paddlers may push their comfort zone to try and be accepted into a social group or to impress a potential partner. Consistency. Rivers are never the same twice. Levels change, rocks move, trees fall down. Sticking to the same plan that you've agreed at the start of the day may not be the best strategy. Expert halo. All of the group should assess the river for themselves and not blindly follow the leader down the river. The flip side of expert halo would be a leader who, due to the role they've been given, feels pressured to lead sections that they are not comfortable with. Familiarity. A friendly play spot on a river can easily turn into a more serious feature with the changing river levels. Dropping into the hole just because it's where you always stop and play could have consequences. Scarcity. Due to life commitments, a group may have few opportunities in the year to travel to kayak. Even if the river levels aren't quite right, it can be an attractive proposition to get on and paddle a river because it's your only chance. Social facilitation. Watching another paddler of similar ability to you paddle a section really well will make you feel like you should paddle it too. A common phrase with leadership is professional judgment decision making. Being competent in the environment and current with your knowledge is an important part of being professional and allows you to make informed decisions. Going on training courses, watching other paddlers and getting feedback are great ways to keep your leadership skills up to date. Thank you for watching this video. Stay safe and have fun out there.